Many years ago, when Tannery and I were young newlyweds in our early 20s, and we were just pinching pennies, we were preparing to make this big move from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, cross country to Los Angeles to attend seminary. And we had budgeted for this truck, this moving truck that we had rented, and we were going to pull our car behind it on a trailer. We budgeted for our first month's rent when we got out to LA and a few other things, but there's one big thing that we had forgotten to budget for, and I didn't even realize it until this happened. It was our last Sunday before we left. So we went to church. I think we were either leaving that day or the day after. Our truck was already packed. And we said goodbye to our church community. In the service, they did a liturgy of departure for us. And then after the service, this couple took us aside, and this is where I realized what we had forgotten to budget for. Because they said, look, we know that this is going to be a really expensive trip for you guys, putting gas in this truck all the way out to LA. I started feeling like warm, like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that's how young we were. We had never done a cross-country trip. And but that anxiety didn't last long, because the very next thing they said, look, we've been praying about this, and here's what we'd like to do. And they pulled out their Shell credit card. And they said, we'd like to give you this card for you to use for gas all the way out to LA. And when you get there and you're all settled in, just put it in an envelope and drop it in the mail for us. And Tanner and I couldn't comprehend that type of generosity. I mean, not only was it meeting us in a place where it really was going to make a huge difference for us financially as this young couple who hadn't budgeted for that part of the trip, but also that level of trust of hey, take this, and when you're done with it, send it back to us. It was never lost on me that this happened in the context of church. The fact that this couple had been praying about how to be generous, and they had found a way, very practical way to express generosity. I think that that's one of the most beautiful things about church, is it invites us to do things that are so inspiring like this. And really, there's nowhere sometimes to comprehend that type of generosity. But the more that we tune in to a God who is so generous, and the more we are journeying as disciples of that God, then we, by virtue of that connection, we also start to find this manifestation of generosity in our own lives in the ways that we can. By the way, I'm not advocating that you give your credit card to someone to use and then send back to you. That's not what I'm talking about here. But anyway, this coming Sunday, as we prepare to step into our pledge season, our pledge season is kicking off with this sermon that I'm preaching this Sunday and then the Sunday after that. And I'm asking this question, this discipleship question: God, what do you have to teach me about money? I'm really excited about this message. It's taking a shape that I didn't expect it to. It's coming from the passage of scripture that is assigned as a part of the lectionary. And I feel like God is kind of shaping this thing as it goes along, and I'm excited to see where it goes as I finish it up, but also to bring it to you, because I do think that this is such an exciting time in the life of St. John's. And along with that comes God's kind of move in our lives. And God's teaching is always meeting us where we are, I hope, in the season that we're in. And so I'm excited for this chance this year, 2024, to be a part of St. John's. I'm excited that every single one of you is here right now. Whether you've been here a long time or whether you're relatively new to us, you're here for a reason. You've got a purpose here in the grand scheme of what God is doing in the world and in our community through St. John's. So know that purpose, and thank you for all that you do. So pledge season is here. We're preparing for the year 2025, and we are opening up this beautiful question: God, what do you have to teach us in this season of our church life together? God bless St. John's. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday.